Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today we are starting the year nice and fresh by taking out the trash. Welcome to my 6th annual Empties video where I show you all of the beauty products that I used up completely in 2024. The totals are in, and of course I'm going to share my final thoughts with you, tell you what I would repurchase and what I would skip. So in 2024 I was able to finish 5 foundations, only 1 concealer, 3 powders, 3 bronzers, 2 highlighters, 1 blush, womp womp. 1 single eyeshadow, I'm proud of that. 1 eyeliner, only 2 mascaras, 1 lipstick, 1 lip liner, 4 brow pencils, 4 setting sprays, 2 sunscreens, 5 serums, 6 cleansers, 1 toner, 6 makeup removers, 7 creams, 4 sunless tanners, 1 eye cream, and then a bunch of miscellaneous Bath & Body products. It is always so interesting finally dumping out the bag at the end of the year and seeing what's inside. Usually by December, I have completely forgotten about what products I was using up and going through in January, February, or March, so sometimes there are a few surprises in the bag. I love this practice so much, and I highly recommend everybody watching at home start their own empties bag. Even if you don't want to keep it for an entire year, you could do it for 6 months. Just tuck it away, out of sight in a closet somewhere. It really can help you make more informed purchasing decisions in the new year, especially if you're planning on going on a low buy or a no buy. Saving your empties is really helpful. Somebody last year recommended maybe saving a list in the Notes app on your phone. That way you don't have to physically hold on to the trash. And I did think for a moment that is a brilliant idea, but there is something to be said about seeing the physical empty products. I'm a very visual person, so for me, I think it's more impactful to take a look at my empties and then take a look at my current makeup collection, and it sort of hits the point home that you really don't need to be doing a ton of shopping this year. It is a really great option if you don't like the idea of holding on to a bag of empties. Just keep an ongoing list in your phone. And Nordstrom Beauty and Sephora both take empties. They have a recycling program, so that is exactly where I'm going to be bringing all of these products as soon as I'm done filming this video. Let's start with foundations. I was able to finish 5 in 2024. I only finished 2 foundations in 2023. That is one good thing about holding on to all of your totals for the year, is you can look back and compare. So I'm proud of myself that I was able to go through more foundations. I still have an overflowing foundation drawer, so still slowing it down in 2025, but I did really like these products. This is the Kogan Dough Moisture Foundation. I finished 2 tubes simultaneously because I was actually mixing these shades. I had to mix 123 and 143. Loved this formula. It's very pricey, but it's beautiful. It's natural and perfecting. This is something that I would absolutely replace. I'm personally not going to replace it just yet because I want to go through some more of what I have in the drawers, but would highly recommend this. My Chanel Les Beige Water Fresh Complexion Touch looks a little worse for wear. I think I dropped the cap or lost the cap somehow, but I have already replaced this. It's amazing. One of my all-time favorite holy grail complexion products. I will always have this in my collection. And then we have my beloved Hourglass Ambient Soft Glow Foundation and a bottle of Armani Luminous Silk. These are 2 of my all-time favorite foundations, gorgeous formulas. I want to say I have at least 1, maybe 2 bottles of Luminous Silk in the drawer. And then this is my 2nd bottle of the Ambient Soft Glow Foundation. I love this. I usually pick it up during a savings event. I miss it. I want to replace it, but I need to go through more of the foundations in my drawers first. But as soon as I get to a decent, reasonable spot, I will go ahead and replace this. I only finished 1 concealer last year, 2 in 2023, so I really need to work on concealers. And it was one of my Pat McGrath Labs Sublime Perfection concealers. This was shade L2. It's my 3rd empty tube of this concealer. I absolutely love it. Not a bad thing to say about this concealer. However, I will not be replacing it because I've since fallen in love with the Natasha Denona concealer. It is so creamy and full coverage and just perfection. Everything I was looking for in a full glam concealer. And it's one of those products that we're usually very picky. I could see myself having a concealer wardrobe of maybe 3 formulas, but I don't feel the need to collect concealers or have an entire drawer full because I usually just go to the one that I love the most anyhow. It's one of those products that I never really change too much during my makeup routine. I can usually get through a handful of bronzers every single year. Last year I finished 3, starting with this Christian Dior Forever Natural Bronze. I had shade 05 Warm Bronze. It is completely gone, scratched down to the pan, and I really liked it. I thought it was very natural, very pretty. I enjoyed using this bronzer. I still don't think this is something I'm going to replace right away. I wish this packaging was refillable. There's a little hole in the back. I could technically pop out this pan, but I've never seen refills for this packaging, which is so strange. It's so wasteful, and there's a clear, easy solution. I'm currently loving the YSL powder bronzer, so I think I'll stick with that. I have a whole drawer full of bronzers, not nearly as many bronzers as I have blush. So I'm not opposed to new formulas and purchasing other bronzers this year, but this is not one that I'm going to replace just yet. I don't think I'm replacing either of these either. This is the Fenty Beauty Cream Bronzer. This is shade Honey Glaze, the Cheeks Out Freestyle Cream Bronzer. This was moved to the top drawer because I really was pushing myself to finish more of my cream products. I know creams and powders both expire, but in my mind, I feel like creams have a shorter shelf life. I hate the idea of purchasing a lot of cream products and then just sitting in the drawer. So I was excited that I finished this. It was on my list of products that I wanted to go through. I also ended up finishing one of these Say Beauty Sun Melt bronzers. This was really nice. Loved the shade. This was light bronze. Similar consistency, I would say, to the Chanel cream bronzer, the travel size in particular. I really need to focus on going through some of my Chanel cream bronzers this year. So loved it, loved both of these, but not holy grail status. I didn't think they were so different, so unique that I don't already have the replacement in my drawer. Somehow I managed to finish 3 setting powders, which is a pretty good accomplishment. I am considering this 3. You have to let me have this one. Technically, these are 2 travel sizes, but still, they're 3 separate bins of powder, and they're all the same brand, but different shades, I think, which is sort of interesting. Yeah, so we have a mini cherry blossom cake, mini banana bread, and the full-size sugar cookie, easy bake, loose baking and setting powder from Huda Beauty. This is really not a huge surprise to me because I love this powder so much. I would say this is tied neck and neck with my Chanel loose powder. They have been incredibly generous with the PR, so they've gifted me several full-size powders. I don't need to go out and replace this myself, but I can sleep well at night knowing that I have these ready to go in the drawer. I don't have to go without my favorite setting powder. It's so thin, it's so lightweight, you can truly bake with this powder, which I do have drier under eyes with fine lines, 37 years old, but I like to pack a little powder right here on this little cheek pad area, let it sit for a little bit while I fill in my brows or maybe do my lipstick, and then I dust it away. It helps keep this nasal labial fold area nice and matte, which is most flattering in my opinion. So I love using this powder to set the entire face, set the under eye, to bake a little bit, and it never looks too dry or cakey. So love this powder, will always have this in my collection. My singular blush empty is this Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Matte Beauty Blush Wand in Pink Pop. I have the Dream Pop, the Peach Pop. I don't think I have the Pillow Talk Pop. I have basically every shade of this blush. I loved it. This is such a pretty formula. This was easy for me to use every single day. I would never get sick of it, always flattering. It's a shame. I am going to miss it. And maybe one day in the next decade, I can justify replacing it, but I just have too many blushes. Also from Charlotte Tilbury, I have 3 Airbrush Flawless Setting Sprays. I use this religiously in all of my makeup videos. Every single time I do my makeup, I use this setting spray. So probably no surprise to see 3 bottles, 2 minis, 1 full size, and then I do have 2 other full sizes sitting on my current vanity top, so I will be restocked for a while. Don't need to run out and buy that. I was also able to finish this mini Iconic London Prep Set Glow. This is a beautiful setting spray. It has a little luminosity to it, so you have to give it a really nice shake, but it's stunning. I love that they sell this in minis because I don't really see myself using the full-size bottle, but the mini bottle I think is perfect. For those special occasions where you want a little more luminosity, a little bit more glow, this is going to leave you very luminous. This is going to set your makeup so it doesn't budge. 2 highlighter empties for 2024 is definitely an accomplishment, and they're 2 really good ones. This is the Westman Atelier Peau de Rosé. I was using this daily for a really long time. This took me well over a year to finish. I want to say this took me close to 2 years. Of course, I wasn't using it every single day, but for a while I was. It just takes a really long time to go through these cream products. You only need a teeny tiny bit, and it just lasted. As expensive as it was, I can't complain because it was so long lasting. I loved this highlighter. I do have Peau de Pêche in my collection. I don't love it as much. So I do wish I could justify repurchasing this, maybe eventually, but not anytime soon. I do highly recommend these Westman Atelier highlighters. Peau de Rosé is the shade. This is the Chanel Le Lion de Chanel Holiday Highlighter. Ooh, from a couple years ago. Oh no. It cracked into a bunch of tiny pieces, which are currently spilling all over the floor. It's mostly empty. I probably should have just emptied this in the trash. But you can see there is the little netting down there. She's gone, she's crumbly. There's a tiny bit left, but it's not even worth saving or trying to open this compact anymore because it's just a mess. She was beautiful, rose gold. I'm sure I have 5 Chanel highlighters that look the same. The really special thing about the Lion highlighter was the design embossed on the powder. For the last 2 years in a row, I've been able to finish an eyeshadow single. It's not much, but it's something. I'm proud. I want to maybe double my empties this year and finish at least 2 eyeshadow singles. This is the Merit Solo Shadow in shade Vachetta. You heard me talk about this incessantly in 2024 because it is the perfect everyday brown. Here are more everyday eye products, things that I use every single time I do my makeup. I was able to go through 4 brow pencils in 2024, and I looked back in 2023, I also went through 4. I think maybe in the year prior I went through 5, so I always use between 4 and 5 brow pencils every single year, which is great to know because now I can go through my drawer, see what I currently have in stock or in my inventory. The next time there's a sale or a promotion, I can pick this up on sale. I will never pay full price for this brow pencil, but I also don't want to be without it. So that's another great reason to save your empties, to know how many products that you use regularly you'll go through in a year. I only finished 2 mascaras, which I think will surprise some of you, but the reason is because the Tower 28 was my favorite for a really long time. I have so many open tubes of mascara. It's a shame because I like them, they're okay, but some are a little bit clumpier than others, or I don't like the wand. Doesn't matter what I'm testing or what's new, I will always go back to my favorite mascara. Similar to concealer, I really just need one go-to favorite. First tube of Tower 28, I thought I would never have to shop for mascara ever again. It was so good. The wand was perfect, the formula was perfect. So what did I do? I restocked it as soon as I ran out. The second tube just never really got going. It was always really thick and gloopy and sort of chunky. This was the second tube, I can already tell, because it has this thick ring of product around the opening. And it was always like that. I kept using it anyway, sort of waiting for it to hit its sweet spot, and it never happened. So now that I finally finished this, I don't really feel inspired to replace it again because the second tube was so bad. I started testing this new Gucci mascara. This is my new favorite mascara, and I was already sort of thinking about picking up my Gucci L'Obscure, which was my holy grail, one of my most restocked mascaras for a while. But this new formula, I think I like even better. It's still brand new, so it's nice and wet, but this brush is slightly curved. It's nice and thin. It has a bunch of straight bristles, and it actually has 2 different lengths, which is really nice. So it does a great job building up volume, but you can still get really close to the lash line, really close to the base, and you can comb through every single hair, which gives you that separation, that feathery look, no clumping. I may still pick up the original Gucci because now it's been so long since I've used it. I kind of want to compare, but based on what I remember, I still think this new version is the perfect formula. It's called Le Magnetism, something like that, from Gucci. Outstanding. Easily one of my best purchases of 2025 already. I know it's early. Only one eyeliner. This is the KVD. I think it's called the Tattoo Liner. All of the writing has smudged off of the tube. This was just your basic brown eyeliner pen. I'm almost done with my current brown eyeliner. I think it's the Huda Beauty. So I'll probably be going in the drawer, restocking a brown eyeliner, liquid eyeliner again soon. But I did really like this one. And lastly, we have lips, and this would actually be the perfect lip combination. I don't think I really wore them together. I probably did at some point, but I didn't use them up together or at the same time. This is the Sephora Gel Lip Liner in Creme de la Creme. I've already replaced this. I have so many of these Sephora lip liners. It's always one of my favorite things to pick up when they're 30% off during the savings event because it's such a creamy formula, and then once it dries down, it doesn't budge, it doesn't smudge, and this is really the perfect nudie pink shade, Creme de la Creme. It's probably my favorite. This lipstick is basically the same shade. It's Gucci Blaze of Noon, the creamy formula. I think they have the same shade in the matte, but this is the creamy version. It is such a pretty color. It is the perfect pinky nude everyday lip, and for a while I was down to the nub and I used this every single day. I was constantly reapplying because I was so excited to have a lipstick in the empties bin. It's very rare. That's it for makeup. So now we are moving on to notable skincare and hair care empties. Starting with sunscreen, I was able to finish the Shiseido VitaClear Invisible Protection with Vitamin C SPF. And one of my beloved Supergoop glow screens. I always use up at least one of these because it's one of my favorites. This was shade Golden Hour, which I typically apply to my shoulders, neck, chest, décolleté. If I'm going out for the evening and I want a little glow to my chest, I like to use this because it adds a little color, a little luminosity. For the face, I love this Shiseido VitaClear because it's thin, it doesn't have a funny smell, it goes on like a primer, it mixes well with my foundation. Just a really easy breezy sunscreen to incorporate into your routine, and it doesn't feel like, ugh, okay, I have to apply my stinky white cast sunscreen all over my face. It's easy breezy. Since we are avoiding the sun at all costs, let me show you all of the sunless tanners I used up last year. Hands down, my favorite is this Isle of Paradise Dark Self-Tanning Oil Mist. I feel like I've been sunless tanning for years, but only last year I cracked the code to the perfect sunless tan. I use the light oil mist for my hands, knees, ankles, any of those problem areas, and then I go in with the dark mist. It's an oil solution, so you kind of have to mix it. It's a biphase. You shake it up, and then I just spritz it on a mitt, apply it directly to the body. Because it's clear oil mist, even though this is the dark shade, don't be afraid, it still goes on a little bit lighter. So don't have to worry about harsh lines anywhere. It truly is the best product. This really changed my sunless tan game. This is a similar product from Saint-Tropez. This is the Luxe Body Serum. I also really like this. Dries down, it's not sticky at all. This is a little bit hydrating. I wouldn't even say it's oily, greasy, it's very light. But the body serum dries down a little bit more, so I think this is great during the day. If you have an event later on and you forgot to sunless tan at night, you can apply this in the morning after you shower. Get dressed like normal, it's not going to stain your clothes, and then by the evening you have some color to you. So I really like both of these. I want to say this is a little less expensive, so I'm just going to stick with my Isle of Paradise moving forward. No surprises here. I finished 3 pharmacy green cleans. This is always on my recommendations list of favorite products from Sephora. It's incredible, and I always go through a couple tubs of this, which is why I usually try to pick it up on sale. This is the best makeup removing balm. It's so thin. You only need a small amount. It's really gentle. It removes all of your stubborn eye makeup, your long wear foundation, whatever it is you need to remove. It's going to get rid of it. It's going to melt it down, and then you could just rinse it off with warm or cool water and everything disappears. But as a first step makeup removing balm, this one is hands down my favorite. I also used up an Elemis. I used up this Tatcha cleansing balm. I'm currently using a Colleen Rothschild, which I really don't like that much. This was okay, it was good. I still prefer the pharmacy. Every once in a while, I like to throw in a new cleansing balm just to make sure that this is the #1 best, and I always go back to this one. Every year I always go through a lot of cleansers and moisturizers. I don't know how I go through so much cleanser, probably because I wear so much makeup and I do wash my face morning and night. And if I need to, if I had a ton of makeup on, sometimes I have to go in with a third cleanse. I don't care. There's no shame in my game. I'll do whatever it takes to get all of the makeup off my face. So I go through a lot of them. I have 6 cleansers, including the Kiehl's Ultra Facial Cleanser. This one was really nice. 3 Skin Fix cleansers, whoop. And I can tell you right now which one was my favorite was this one. This is the Barrier Plus Foaming Oil Cleanser. I really like this cleanser. This I would repurchase. I think it's so nice that it comes in the convenient pump. I also have the 2% BHA Acne Cleanser. I don't think this really did much for me. Now this cleanser I did not love from Skin Fix, and the problem is the packaging. This is the Barrier Plus Ceramide and Ectoin Gentle Cleanser, the Gel to Foam Wash. This is so thin, so you just have to be very careful whenever you open it up, because you go to pour it into your hand and it just flies out of the tube. I don't know if maybe I got a defective one, but I felt like it was so thin. Every time I was in the shower or by the sink trying to wash my face, there's just really no way to get that dime size amount or even a quarter size amount. I feel like it would just gush out the tube at such a fast rate. I was never able to close it fast enough. So in my mind, I just wasted so much of this cleanser. I wish I used more than I wasted. I did receive this complimentary. Had I purchased it myself, I would have been really disappointed. I also finished another bottle of my Youth to the People Kale and Green Tea Spinach Vitamin Superfood Cleanser. I think this is my second, maybe my third bottle of this cleanser. And then this Purity Made Simple one step facial cleanser from Philosophy. This I liked. This one I've loved for a really long time, but right now I've switched over to the Kiehl's White Clay Cleanser. It's a clay cleanser from Kiehl's, not the Ultra Facial, and I'm so happy with that. I don't see myself changing anytime soon. I think that is the perfect second step cleanser for me. I used up a mini version of my favorite Laneige Cream Skin Serapeptide Toner Moisturizer. I currently am almost done with one larger bottle. I already have the backup. I use this every time I wash my face. And then a couple of the other serums I really liked. I used up my tretinoin prescription. I'm already using a second bottle. I love the Twinio prescription. This has worked wonders on my skin. Now you might be wondering, Erin, why are you talking about your prescription? We can't just buy this. No, you can't, but you can make an appointment with your dermatologist and see if they can recommend a tretinoin or a retinol prescription for you. This is the key ingredient to my skincare routine, and sometimes people will ask me, well, what are you doing for your skin? And I can give you the names of every other product that I use, but you're not going to get the same results unless you're using the active ingredient. I mean, this is really the one product that has made the biggest difference. Everything else is just the cherry on top. That being said, I still really enjoy these. These are more hydrating serums, which is so important when you're using a prescription strength tretinoin. So I still really needed this in my skincare routine. This is the Youth to the People Triple Peptide and Cactus Oasis Serum. This has hyaluronic acid, so this is really nice for plumping the skin. You still want some moisture anytime you're doing a hyaluronic acid serum, so I would always go in with my toner cream first, and then go in with my hyaluronic acid serum. Same thing with the tretinoin. This is the L'Occitane Reset Nuit Oil and Serum. This I really liked. It's very thick and a little bit oily, but very nourishing to the skin. When I'm feeling incredibly dry, which I've gone through a lot of dry patches with my skin over the past year, this has been really good. My skin drinks it up. I love this so much. I was actually using it in the morning sometimes as well. I also used the Strivectin Hydration Multiplier Serum. This is a hyaluronic acid serum as well. One side's more of a cream, one side's more of a gel, and then you mix them together. I really liked this. I felt like the texture was a bit more creamy moisturizer feeling. The Amore Pacific Time Response is my favorite serum. I will not be replacing this sadly because it is so expensive. Every once in a while though, I see a huge sale. So if I see one of those huge sales, then I might spring for this again. Similar to the L'Occitane, it just feels like it is hugging your skin and that it's creating a true moisture barrier in the evening. It just feels so good. It feels like you are getting to the deepest layer of your skin. It doesn't absorb quickly into the skin and disappear. You can feel this working. Your skin feels very supple afterwards. So I love this serum. I love the moisturizer. I love the entire line really, but it's pricey. I think I used 7 moisturizers. I'm only going to talk about a handful of these. Only some were notable. I don't know if I'm really going to rush to replace all of these. I finished 2 of these La Mer creams. This is the moisturizing soft cream, and then the moisturizing cream. This is the ½ ounce size. Really nice. Feels really good. I personally do not think La Mer skincare is worth the money. I think this is going to be an unpopular opinion, and please do not take personal offense to me saying that. I've seen way too many dermatologists speak out against La Mer and talk about the active ingredients and how similar it is to other more affordable skincare for me to really feel justified purchasing this. These were probably my 2 favorite. This is the Tatcha Dewy Skin Cream. Pretty famous. I think a lot of people love this. It feels really good on the skin. And then the Skin Fix Barrier Triple Lipid Peptide Cream. I think I finished one of these last year as well. So these were my 2 favorite moisturizers that I used in 2024. They feel amazing. They're rich, they're nourishing, not overly greasy either, but they have a lot of really yummy ingredients for your skin. We're almost done. I'm not going to bore you going through all of my hair care and Bath & Body empties, but I do have a few empties left that I want to talk about. 2 I highly recommend and would repurchase, and 2 I wouldn't. Starting with the 2 that I love, Color Wow, the Money Mask, the Money Mist. You've heard me talk about these a lot. I can't believe I only finished 1 Money Mask this year. That feels wrong. Like maybe I missed an empty somewhere, but this is a great mask. I always replace it, always have one on hand. Makes your hair feel shiny, glossy, instantly detangles in the shower, just a game changer. And this has been an incredible leave-in conditioner. Whenever I get out of the shower, I use this every single time I style my hair. We are ending on a controversial note. These are 2 empties that I personally do not recommend. I didn't see a huge difference. I don't really like these products personally. Everybody's going to have a different experience. It doesn't mean you're right, I'm wrong, I'm right, you're wrong. Everyone's hair is different. Everyone's going to have their own opinion. K18 has incredible science. I was talking about my love for science with skincare. I feel the same way about hair care. I love the science. I actually went to a training with Sephora in LA a couple years ago, and we had people from the K18 team explaining the science behind this product, explaining exactly how to use the product. This is my 2nd bottle. Both bottles have been gifted to me. I want to love this. Trust me, I want to love this product. I just don't really get the hype. I don't understand how some people can love this with so much passion, because I've had such mediocre results and such a mediocre experience using K18. I want to experience what they've experienced. Whatever molecular repair I got from the treatment, I'm immediately reversing it with mechanical damage from trying to comb through my hair when it's damp, when it's vulnerable. Every way you could think to use K18, I've tried it. I've gone through 2 bottles. I still don't really like it. I just have never had good results. My hair feels normal, it feels exactly the same, or it feels terrible after I've used this. Nutrafol feels like a similar brand to K18. It's not going to work for everybody, but they do a great job finding their audience, and the people who love it are so loyal and they will rally around it and they swear by the product. That's how I feel about these vitamins, these supplements. This is a hair growth nutraceutical. 120 capsules. You're supposed to take 4 capsules a day for 30 days. I was sent 2 bottles complimentary. I'm currently working on my 2nd bottle. I've only finished the 1 bottle, but there are a few different reasons why I don't really like this product, and I am just very skeptical of products like this in general. For one thing, I do not love the marketing of this product. It is very expensive, and it is not a magic pill. A magic pill doesn't exist. There is not a supplement on earth that you can take and you will magically grow really long, full, strong, healthy, voluptuous hair out of your head. That's just not genetics. If you would genetically have thin, sparse hair, You could take 8 capsules a day for 90 days. You're not going to see a difference because it's not going to change your genetics. This is a product that is great for somebody who has a lot of hair naturally and maybe they experienced something, perhaps they're postpartum, maybe they had a surgery or they lost weight. Something happened to them that made them lose hair, and then this helps with the hair regrowth process. I could see somebody like that having great results. I have friends who were postpartum who had hair loss, and they love Nutrafol because this helped them get their hair back. Not always, but in most cases, they were probably already going to regrow some of that hair anyway, but this seemed to help them, or they felt like this was making a really huge difference. Something else to consider, I've heard a lot of medical doctors and medical professionals talk about supplements in general, not speaking on Nutrafol specifically, but they always say that unless your body is deficient in something, it doesn't matter how many supplements you take, you're basically just going to piss it out. Like, your body is not going to just continue to absorb vitamins the more you take. You just can only absorb so much. If you're not deficient, it's not going to make a difference. And I believe the person was speaking regarding like the hair nail supplements, which this is sort of in that family. There's absolutely a target audience for Nutrafol. I think there is a group of people who can really benefit from this product. The issue I take is that I don't feel like the brand does a great enough job explaining that this isn't for everybody. Not everybody is going to see results with it. And I feel like people get caught up in the hype. They see before and after pictures, or they see their favorite influencers saying, look, my hair grows so much thicker and healthier after this. So they spend their hard-earned money thinking that they'll have the same results. And it's one of those things where you have to keep taking it consistently, indefinitely. Like, you can't just stop taking it, just like lash serum, just like a tretinoin or a moisturizer. This has to be just part of your routine. Then you have to continue to take the supplements basically forever to see ongoing results. I definitely wouldn't recommend buying just one bottle unless you are fully committed to taking the pills daily and doing it for a couple months, which could end up costing maybe $400 or $500 before you would see any sort of minimal results. So before you take that step, if it's something that you've been interested in, I would just do your own research, maybe consult with a doctor, see if you are deficient in any of these vitamins and minerals before you commit to that cost. And that completes today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing all of the beauty products that I finished completely in 2024. I'm excited to start again in 2025. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Leave me your comments, questions down below. As always, I will be linking everything mentioned. Everything on my face will be tagged directly to the video and listed in the description box for your convenience. And for more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell.